Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name as always is Nate, known as Rides with Nate, and now the rain is coming to ruin our parade. Oh, that's just lovely. It is Saturday, April, I want to say the 13th, sounds right, 2025, and I am just now leaving Twig Cycles up in Hagerstown, Maryland. I had to go collect the paperwork, documentation, and spare parts for the new helmet that I ended up going with that we'll talk more about today. And what else have I got to talk about? Oh, I can talk about some stuff on the professional front as well. Alright, so, what have I been getting into? Well, got a new helmet. You can't see it now, but I'll throw some photos in of before and after I mounted my camera to it. I got a Shoei Neotech 3. The deciding factor in the Shoei Neotech 3, besides having all the features of a modular I'd want, it's also very quiet. Certain other modulars are quiet too, but there is some advertising that Shoei got for free from Quasimotard, shaving the front of his Neotech 3 down after a Jeep hit him, that pretty much solidified my opinion of going with the Neotech 3. I figure if it could survive a face hit to a road in Texas at 50 miles an hour and keep one of the moto vloggers and acquaintances, whom of which I hold a very high respect for, alive, then you should probably trust it to my noggin as well. I gotta be careful how much I ramble today and how much dead space I end up throwing in this SD card, because I have somehow yet again misplaced my large SD cards. I've only been able to locate my 8 gig cards, which are great for like Raspberry Pis and small Linux distributions, but not when you're trying to record 1080p footage. I don't actually remember what I have my settings set to. Might be at 30, might be at 60, might be at 4K, might be at 1080. I don't know. Chris and I took an adventure last weekend. We took a 4-day weekend, took off work Monday and Friday to go to Ocean City, Maryland. We'd never been. What's kind of popular, I always think that Ford Explorer is a car about to pull out. Ugh. But what's really popular for a lot of teens when they graduate high school around here is to go to like Beach Week in Ocean City, Maryland. This is probably just like a localized Maryland thing, but it's popular to go to Beach Week, which I think is like the week after graduation happens or something like that, as a means to say we're done with school, yay! I never went. Heck, the only reason that I didn't just have the school administration, mail me my diploma was because my grandparents really wanted to see me walk across the stage at my graduation. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, I guess. But never did Beach Week, didn't do the Safe and Sane lock-in. I think the night that was the Safe and Sane lock-in, I was working. I want to say I was still working, I think at Best Buy at the time. And that was before I started my job as a network engineer at a cybersecurity startup out in Virginia. I still keep up with a lot of the colleagues I met there. A lot of them have directly shaped me to who I am today. Jimmy, Joe, John, Jeremy. That's a lot of J's. Jacob. Although we'll break the J's up, we'll call him Bacon. They've all really shaped me into who I am today, and where I've made it with my IT and my tech career, which has been doing well. I've had a lot of cool positive challenges come up since the last time that I've talked about work stuff on the Super Cub. It's been a couple of weeks now, so I think it's time for an update on work. As you can tell, or maybe not, but a couple of the locals to me will know, this is not Seattle, Washington. This is Maryland. Specifically, I'm coming through Boonesboro now. So, the astute among you may remember that I was contemplating a relocation to Seattle, Washington, but that's not working out how I'd hoped. As far as I know, it's still in the cards. It just requires some work on my manager's part, I think is the best way I can word it. So, he knows who he is. I doubt he watches these videos. If you do, hi! Go away. Go do something managerial. Don't watch my videos. There's better content on the internet. Giving him a chance to click off if he hasn't already. And you'll have to forgive the audio if I start having to make the mic audio very quiet through here. I talk very loud, and this GoPro microphone is really good at picking up my voice through the helmet. Wagoneer. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Oh, Chris is asking why I'm at Twig. Well, you'll watch this YouTube video there, bud. You'll know why. And now you get a free shout out. Go check out Chris's channel. Oh, ADV throttle. Whoa. Didn't expect you to dive that way. Oh, keeping your lane. Must be challenging. I'll have to go back and rewatch that clip because he's not even paying attention to what he's doing. He was fiddle farting with something in the passenger seat. But yeah, go check out Chris. He's going to be making some content. He actually got it. Like, he did the proper YouTuber thing and recorded the journey, some of the journey to Ocean City and some of the journey back. It looks like he got some decent footage, so curious to see how he smashes it together. I had a 2013 iMac kicking around that it sounds so weird to say, oh, I just have an iMac kicking around, but I got it off Facebook Marketplace years ago when OS 10.15 was still relevant, and then it quickly aged out. I didn't fiddle fart with installing a modified bootloader. I just moved all my YouTube video production to my 2019 MacBook Pro. And I gave it to him, and he's got it running all sorts of latest and greatest. He's got the bootloader thing done so he can run the new version of macOS. Power to him. I never felt like figuring it out. He got to learn about Linux partitioning. So I'm still using iMovie on my MacBook. And I probably will for the foreseeable future. I would like to pick up a refurb Mac Studio M1, like a high-spec M1, to start cranking out YouTube videos a little bit faster. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Anyway, he gathered some pretty decent footage, and I hope he caught a good amount of the rain and crap we had to ride in to get home. Oh my god, yeah, we'll talk about that for a bit. Yeah. So we were in Ocean City, Maryland for a long weekend. I think I was trying to talk about this before until the traffic. But yeah, we were in Ocean City, Maryland for a long weekend this past weekend. So Friday to a Monday. So we both took off Friday to ride out. We were fairly under the assumption that we were going to get wet riding out. But we were planning like all nice, pretty back roads and whatnot. But the day was kind of like this. You could see the front moving through. There wasn't really a lot of blue poking out of the sky, but it looked decent enough. It was good enough riding weather. It wasn't hot. It was humid as all get out, though. And, we didn't end up having any rain. It was kind of gloomy, but riding was otherwise quite nice. It was in the high 50s, low to mid 60s. I was able to wear my new gear, which isn't what I'm wearing now, that flows a lot more air with my vest. But that lasted for one day. Saturday was okay-ish. We could have probably rode a bit, but it was super misty. It was really foggy. The ceiling, which is the height of the clouds, was really low, so like clouds were coming down. It was a mist all day. We just said screw it. Didn't decide to pursue any riding. Sunday, just freaking gorgeous, man. 75 degrees. Low to mid, mid humidity, like 40-50%, but you're going to have so much of that being next to, the freaking ocean. And then Monday was just monumental, like, biblical fucking downpours and rain. Chris was not ready for it. I really felt bad. He was in composite-toed shoes with socks that did not come up past his ankles, nor did the shoes, so he was cold and miserable, and his feet were frozen. The roosts of water... My voice just cracked. The roosts of water that were getting thrown up by cars and semis were feeding the tops of my boots with nice, fresh rainwater. That was so... was so annoying. my feet were soaked, the boots were soaked, so even though they're waterproof, I don't think anything is truly ever waterproof. I think there's a React boots that I'm wearing. I can't remember the brand name. But yeah, they're water resistant at best. They held it off. I gotta admit, they held it off for about an hour and a half until downpours and puddles, man. We ran through a puddle deep enough. Chris was on his CSC RX4, which is a Chinese BMW clone. So he had the higher pegs and the higher ride height, so he wasn't getting the puddles splashback like I was, but the very low pedal height that the FJR has. At one point I hit a puddle, we both did, he was pretty good. It drug my feet off the pegs, and that was a stark come-to-Jesus moment about the poor decisions we had made, but waiting another day to leave. One, I had work obligations to get done that next day, and two, I didn't much feel like waiting around because the next day was supposed to be chilly, windy, but chillier. Forecast ended up shooting a bit lower than what actually happened. So I am fortunate for that. The camera's still going? It is. Woohoo! The forecast ended up being, it looked cooler than it actually turned out to be, so like, I probably could have pleaded with my boss and given him the circumstances and would have been fine to wait another day, but I'm glad we went home. We made it across the Bay Bridge coming into Annapolis, and we were both thoroughly soaked. These gloves had soaked through, so I was just getting constant wind chill through them. They weren't drying. Nothing was drying. It was raining. We pulled off in Millersville, Maryland, at a friend of mine's parents' home. Actually, Jacob, who I used to work with. His mother was home, so I call her up because we're friends. I've gone on a cruise with Jacob, so I know his whole family. Really nice people, really sweet people. His mother, Faye, I call her and I'm like, we're in a pickle. This is the situation. Are you home? And she's like, yes, come on over. I'm like, thank you. So she makes us tea and hot chocolate. We literally defrosted for about an hour and a half and then got back on the road. The rain had fortunately stopped and then started back up again and then stopped again. But at that point, I said, screw it, threw my heated gloves on, which I kind of wish I had on today. It's not terrible, but it's just a bit nippy. It's going to warm up, though, so I'm not too worried about it. So she did as nice friends and others do, and to make sure that we were warm. So, Faye, if you ever see this, thank you so much for your hospitality. I wish I got to see Lisa, but that's all right. She was at work. Oh, mercy. But that's all right. She was at work, and I'm certain I will see her at some point this year. I need to go spend the weekend with them at some point, or just like a Saturday night into a Sunday. Just be like, hi, yes, Jacob, I will come annoy you and your parents. Evil laugh. But it was good to travel with Chris. I want to see what he ends up getting for usable ride footage. I hope he, does videos like what I'm doing now. I know he is a lot more technical with fixing things and repairing things than I am. He's got the patience for it. I simply don't. I was never wired that way. I can take things apart, but putting them back together, fat chance of that one. In most cases. Computers I'm pretty good at, but mechanical bits like this, I'm terrified when this thing needs its valve adjustment in 4,000-ish miles. Its first one. That's not going to be fun. So this fuel tank has to get drained and come off, which means all this plastic fairing shit also has to come off, and that's just going to be a rip-roaring pain in the butt. So with the helmet upgrade, and let me tell you what, the Shoei Neotech 3, the price tag, even with gift cards and some rewards points I'd had building up at the dealership, that was a shocking price tag. I think it came out to the high 700s versus the mid 900s. Cow always scratching itself. Aww. Oh boy. Oh, stay away. A lot just happened there. I'm heading to DC tonight. I am getting dinner with the Spartans Motorcycle Club. So there is an officer dinner that I've been invited as the VP's guest, and then there is a bar night afterwards. So I have acquired a hotel room in DC because you figure this is going to be the weather riding down there. And while I'm certain I will be fine, in worst case I will throw some rain gear on and deal with it. Though I'm going to record that journey too, so I don't know why I'm narrating for you now. I don't want to ride back at night. One, I don't like riding at night. I will do it. I have done it, but I hate it every time I do it. Especially this road is actually what I ride at night on most of the time because I've got friends that live over in the other county, and this is the connecting road between the two counties. So this is where I've been stuck at during the night most of the time. What the hell? What was that truck doing? And now we're getting up onto the big highway. And they have just repaved this ramp, so that means be especially careful. Because this was wet the other day, and phew, this fresh, the asphalt is slick. AccuWeather, you lied. You said no rain. And yet, what is it doing? Fortunately, when I get to DC, everything I need will fit into my trunk. And because I'm only taking one night's worth of clothes changes, plus a backpack with my laptop in it, because I have an IT calling to do tomorrow. So everything will fit in my trunk. I can just undo my trunk from the bike and carry it upstairs. Once I get to the hotel, I need to drop this windshield and get my helmet cleaned off. That's the great thing about an electric windshield, man. You can get the best of both worlds. You can get as much airflow as you need in summer or stop as much as you need in the cold. And like today, it keeps most of the water that splashes up off the road or that I ride into with the rain. It hits the windshield before it hits me. And then if my visor ever gets too covered, I just drop the windshield down a little bit, and it blows air right up at my visor, and it dries it off. I always put Rain-X on it anyways, or some other similar coating, just to fill in those little micro pores in the plastic, so water beads up and off easier. Welcome to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. The world's crappiest roads. Oh my god, I hate that. Harpers Ferry Brewing. I have never been there, and I've been told it's good. I don't do beer. My system does not like beer to begin. Hey, no footer. Nice. My system doesn't like beer to begin with, which that's okay. I've got other stuff. Vodka, surprisingly, doesn't disagree with me. Whiskey sometimes depends on the brand, but vodka, time for time, has almost always been the safe bet for consumption that will set my GI tract into a fit. That's probably what's stopping me from traveling as much as I'd like to on two wheels, is my stupid stomach. I'm not going to bore you with that story, though, because that is the song that never that made the Vermont trip very long. I'm blessed that Fran was patient with me. I'm rather shocked this camera's still going. Yep, there it is. Every so often I have to look in this mirror just to make sure that light's still blinking. So, I don't know. Kind of stuff to talk about. Yeah, I rattled through the list. Job update with Seattle. Ocean City rain snafu with my appreciation for friends. Traffic in Boonesboro. I mean, really, city planning do better. And yeah, new helmet. I don't have my old helmet anymore because I traded it in for this, which got me like a $25 credit. Yay. Words are hard. Yeah, I'll do a review of my old helmet, but I don't have it anymore, so I'll just have to find generic screenshots from the Harley-Davidson website. I don't miss it at all. This helmet is night and day better. It's so much quieter, moves more air, and it actually fits. That's the best part. But yeah, that's all I got to talk about today. I will have to quickly find my larger SD card so I can record going down to DC. That's going to be nothing less than interesting. So I'll probably keep the microphone open the whole time. If there's anything interesting that rattles off my brain, I'll share it with you then. But I'm getting dangerously close to filling this SD card up because it only said 31 minutes, and I've been going for 28 and some change, and I guarantee you that the camera recorded for at least a minute longer. So thank you all for watching, and feel free to leave a comment. Dropping a subscription really helps the channel, and I've got a lot of followers on Instagram. Check me out over there. It's Rides with Nate. I've rebranded my handle everywhere to be Rides with Nate. So from Blue Sky to Instagram. I'm not on Twitter, or I am, but not under my current username. I'm ready to delete that account. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. If you enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up and a subscription. It really helps the channel and the algorithm, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and ride safe.